A 57-year-old woman from Wisconsin is expected to make a full recovery after being shot in the posterior by a gun that she was carrying into an MRI. MRIs, or magnetic resonance imaging, are one of the most widely used imaging techniques available to doctors. They provide highly detailed images of the inside of a person's body, particularly their soft tissues like organs that you can't see with an X-ray. And the way they do this, as the name implies, is a combination of magnets and radio resonance to produce the image. Really big magnets. The unnamed 57-year-old woman was given normal warnings before entering the room about removing jewelry, wedding bands, earrings, anything metal on your body needs to be taken off. People with tattoos are warned that the tattoo might itch. I know a guy that had a metal plate in his head and couldn't get an MRI because it would have literally pulled the plate out of his head. Oh, man. So she was given the same warning as everybody else, and according to records, she answered no to all of those questions. Do you have any of these on you? No. They even asked, do you have any...
Right to bear arms.
That's what I was going to say.
They said, do you have any dangerous items like knives or guns on you? And she said no. The amazing thing is, we don't know where she was hiding the gun because she was wearing a standard hospital gown. Yeah, but we do know that this happened. The reason we know about this is because the incident was reported to the FDA's MAUDE database, MAUDE, where medical professionals can report any adverse effects involving devices. And I guess this qualifies. We're not exactly sure how the gun discharged, but clearly it did. And she's expected to make a full recovery. So
did it say what her MRI was for? Did it talk about any of that?
No, it did not. Because there were no...
I remember there was they didn't share obviously any of the personal details.
Yep.
But I remember someone kind of framed this in the way that, something that I wanted to talk about actually. Kim
this wasn't supposed to start that, but I'm excited now.
Kim Kardashian, she's been...
This is going great places.
I'm ready.
She's been this is all I have because we would have to unpack this a bit further, a bit of a cliffhanger. But she's been endorsing MRIs.
For what?
Exactly. So now people, since the cost has generally kind of come down.
Yeah.
And there are different machines, different levels of MRI machine available, I guess.
Yeah.
Some clearly better than others, some with magnets.
Stronger magnets.
Anyway, there's somebody out there who's saying that, yeah, go get MRIs. We'll be able to detect tumors or detect issues, detect injuries.
Okay.
Without, almost just like a screening tool.
Okay.
So I know we've alluded to this. I don't know if it was in conversation or even on one of these shows. Yeah. But again, there's somebody out there sort of endorsing, you don't need an MRI, but go get one just because you never know what you'll find.
Someone who has massive influence, massive platform, saying, "Hey, go get."
Yeah, and I don't know that Kim K went out and said that per se, but I know for a fact that she went and had a curious MRI done. What I'll say is I had an MRI done on my shoulder. I've had multiple done, but most recently on my shoulder. Yeah, and it was terrible. They had to put the dye in.
Yeah.
So the arthrogram or whatever, but imagine.
And you have to hold still for
just curiously
a long time
doing that. Yeah. And it was, they gave me these little headphones. I couldn't even hear all you could hear is the loud
because it's so loud.
But all that's to say, we probably need to check in on the curious MRI kind of stuff.
We need to look into that. It's not the same as a DEXA scan because DEXAs aren't that invasive. None of it's invasive technically, but I mean, it's not interesting. All right. Well,
no, DEXA, you'll get probably some overlap in information, but it's more water content, bone density,
muscle mass and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, all that is to say, there's the MAUDE system. It tracks adverse effects with medical devices. And thanks to that, we know about this lady in Wisconsin.
And if you're curious about an MRI, maybe wait till we talk about it first.
Yeah, there you go. And also, new medical research suggests that owning a cat could double the risk of developing schizophrenia. The meta-analysis published in the Journal of Psychoses and Related Disorders looked at 17 studies published over the last 44 years from 11 different countries. Quoting the study itself, quote, "Our findings support an association between cat exposure and an increased risk of broadly defined schizophrenia-related disorders. It is believed that a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii is responsible. It enters a person's body when they're scratched or bitten by a cat, even playfully, or through contact with the animal's feces. Most people with this parasite in their blood have no symptoms, but it can enter the central nervous system and influence neurotransmitters, leading to the neurological disorders." Thoughts?
I mean, what do you think about that? I think this is an assault on his character, if anything.
I mean, it's not his fault that he may or may not have Toxoplasma gondii.
Oh man, I would hope not. And I promise we're not making light of this, right?
It is serious, but it has long been accused that cat owners have a higher likelihood of neurological disorders, but it looks like there is some actual, and it's not specifically cat owners, it's people exposed to cats. This is why they're typically put away.
This is Pablo's first episode. It took 41 episodes to get him here.
This is also why you should be watching the show, because if you're not watching, you have no idea what's happening right now.
What does Tyler normally say? If you're only listening, you're missing half the fun.
That's exactly right.
There's no doubt it's fascinating, and there's surely a lot of people that have cats.
Yeah, well, and the point, like it said, most people that do have this parasite in their blood have no impact, no effect whatsoever. But it is interesting that could be related.
Yeah.
There we go. Very serious news segment here in the first part of the year.